Guys, I think the Wolverine that we see in Deadpool and Wolverine might be the exact same version of Logan from X-Men 97. If Marvel Studios decides to make the live-action Wolverine that Hugh Jackman is going to play the same version as the animated Wolverine, it is going to be massive. So here's my tweet explaining why I think it's the same version. So the first point that I had was the writer of the show, Bo DeMeo, said that the ending of X-Men 97 is absolutely huge, and if Logan were to jump over to live action, I think that would be a pretty big ending to the season. Then there were rumors that Wolverine in Deadpool 3 is going to have a special attachment to his yellow suit. And in episode 8, we saw that the suit got absolutely torn apart from all of the Prime Sentinels. So what if he ends up losing the suit, which follows into another rumor where the X-Men are all going to get new costumes at the end of Season 1. So if Wolverine loses his classic yellow, blue, and black suit, then he might have a very special attachment to it when he gets it back in Deadpool 3. Now this is where it gets real interesting. So I wrote here, Logan may try to reverse the absolute points of the attack on Genosha, and it might destroy his universe similar to the Spider-Verse movies. If you guys remember in Across the Spider-Verse, when Miles tries to save the police chief, the world starts to crumble and then the Spider Society has to come in and try to stop it. So I think something similar could happen because Hank McCoy, Beast, explained that the attack on Genosha might be an absolute point that they can't reverse. And in episode 8, Wolverine even says to Cable, "Why didn't you stop Genosha?" Which might even foreshadow Wolverine attempting to do just that. And it could cause a branch timeline of the X-Men 97 show to just get absolutely destroyed. And maybe that's what kills all of the X-Men, all of his friends and family. And if you guys remember, the Watcher shows up in episode 5 right before the attack on Genosha, meaning that it is a very important event in the X-Men 97 show history. And the big rumor is that Wolverine in Deadpool 3 is a prime hero or anchor variant of Wolverine from that universe. So maybe he creates a branch timeline and the Watcher is there and plucks him from the timeline and explains the whole prime hero thing and decides to save Wolverine's life, and he is the sole survivor of that branch version of the X-Men 97 timeline. Maybe he exiles himself because he sees himself as responsible for the attack on Genosha, stopping it and causing all of his friends to die. And I know what you're thinking, oh, like Wolverine's supposed to be in Season 2, and yeah, he can still be in Season 2 of X-Men 97 because this would be a branch timeline, so you could still have a main timeline where Wolverine is there, maybe he gets his brown suit. But I think this version of Wolverine is going to cause a branch timeline that's going to get destroyed, and the Watcher or maybe even Loki saves him. And we know that the TVA in Deadpool and Wolverine is trying to recruit prime heroes, so maybe he tells Deadpool to go find this version of Wolverine that has exiled himself after he caused the destruction of a timeline. And then on top of that, the suits are bang on, almost identical, so I think it makes a lot of sense to just bring this version over. Everyone loves the animated version, so you're automatically going to be invested in the live-action version of him, versus if you just create a brand new Wolverine variant that nobody knows anything about. Plus, I would say the majority of people watching X-Men 97 are adults that watched the original show when they were kids, so if you tell them that version of Wolverine is the Hugh Jackman version, that is awesome, and more people are going to go to the theaters, I think, to see this Wolverine story play out. Then on top of that, there were rumors that Deadpool and Wolverine is going to canonize some of the animated shows, starting with X-Men 97. And if we are going to canonize X-Men 97 into the main MCU, then I think it makes a lot of sense to do that with the fan-favorite character, Wolverine. And just imagine how cool that would be. Like, imagine they're in the TVA watching how his world was destroyed, and you see, like, the animated version of Wolverine trying to stop the attack on Genosha. It succeeds, and then the whole world starts to crumble. And Deadpool and Wolverine are just watching it on a TV, like watching the cartoon on the TVA screen. That would be really cool. But yeah, guys, let me know down below in the comments what you think about this theory. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it would be a great way to just, combine the animated universe to the broader MCU, if that rumor is true. And it would be really cool to just follow this version of Wolverine in live action. I think it would be awesome. And I think the whole branch timeline thing makes sense because we basically did that with Loki in the Loki series. Like, we have the main Loki that was in the MCU timeline that Thanos killed, and then we have the branch timeline Loki that became God of Stories in Loki Season 2. So it could be a very similar thing for this Wolverine. You have the Wolverine that continues in Season 2 of X-Men 97, and then you've got like this multiversal version that tried to stop Genosha. I think it would be pretty cool.